Kenneth French with Vast Holdings Group. I'm actually the Chief Investment Officer, and I've been asked to speak a little bit about one of the key things that one of our subsidiary companies does that helps a lot of small business owners, and that's a defined benefit plan. The company in question, vastsolutionsgroup.com. So what I would say is, what is a defined benefit plan? That's really the basic element that most people are asking. And why is it that it's so beneficial? First, a defined benefit plan. It's a little different in the 401k. In the 401k, employees defer or put money away for their retirement. A defined benefit plan, or commonly known as a pension plan, is where the company puts away money for the employees. Generally speaking, it's to replace the income of the employees down the road in some point in the future, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. As a result, you have to put away a lot of money currently to equal income down the road. So what's an example? If I'm making $100,000 now, as an example, I want to have $100,000 in 10 years coming out on an annual basis for the rest of my life. What would that mean? Probably means I have to put away a lot of money. Well, that's exactly what a defined benefit plan is, where you're putting away money now to equal a certain goal in retirement down the road. Now, for small business owners who don't have any employees, sometimes you could put away a grand amount of money. I mean, a lot of money. Well, that's why defined benefit plans actually make sense in a lot of cases. Now, how much can you save in taxes as a result? Well, let's just say you're putting, you have 401k, you can put away $19,500 this year. At the same time, with someone making that same salary, they might be able to put in as much as $200,000 or $300,000. So the money is considerable, and as a result, the deductions are considerable as well. Now, how do I know if I'm a good fit for a defined benefit plan? Well, frankly, that's what you need us for. You need an actual firm. You need a firm that can really do the specifics, has certifications, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the company, www.vastsolutionsgroup.com, the one I mentioned earlier, what we can do to help you is to determine how much you can put away, to determine if it makes sense for you as an entrepreneur to have a defined benefit plan. Now, what's the exact right age to start a plan? Really depends. I mean, sometimes we say, in the 40s or 50s. Really depends on your circumstances. Now, a lot of people say, well, can my contribution fluctuate? The answer to that is yes. But generally, it's pretty flexible, a lot more flexible than you would think if you have a small number of employees who are working at the workplace. Now, what's the amount of time you have to have a plan? We say, 5-7 years. Frankly, when you do any qualified plan, IRA, 401k, et cetera, you're supposed to be putting money away into infinitum. The object is not to put it away just for a short number of years. The thought is you're going to be putting it away for a long period of time, and hopefully you can take some of the work off the shoulders of public policymakers, meaning you don't have to expect money from the government. Instead, you can put away money for yourself, and that would end up helping you and the government if you could put away money for your own circumstances. Who controls the money in the plan? Typically, it's the entrepreneur, the business owner, gets to put away money and actually controls where the assets go. Now, we have a separate entity that does consultation in regard with the assets in the plan. Then also we have a number of strategic alliances with companies that do securities and investments, et cetera, et cetera. We at Vast Solutions Group do not do securities marketing or transactions specifically. One of the contributions due every year, typically when your taxes are due, plus extensions. But what I would say is, we would love to help you because you can get very, very specific in your contribution dates based on your situation, how potentially it flows in your situation. What happens if you retire early? It's not a bad thing in some cases. We could work on some of the specifics of that so you can roll the money into an IRA, which is pretty typical when we're talking about closing a plan. If you've had plans in the past, it can get a little sticky as to starting a defined benefit plan. We can, once again, at www.vastsolutionsgroup.com, help you in determining the span of time between when you used to have a qualified plan and this current plan you're looking at doing. Now, what I would also say, it's pretty important, you can have both defined benefit plans, 401k plans, etc. There's tests that have to be completed, but sometimes they work very well, hand in glove, as a matter of fact. Now, by the way, it's a little bit more expensive to have a defined benefit plan than it is to have a 401k because you need to have certain certifications, as I mentioned at the outset. But what I would say is, usually you get the benefit. Would you rather put away, let's say, $19,000 in a 401k, where you can put away, let's say, $100,000. The deduction you get and the contribution you get on the defined benefit plan sometimes outweighs the excess cost. But again, without value, there's no reason to pay any more. Now, who does the qualified plan filings, the compliance? That's exactly what we do at Vast Solutions Group. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll look at an existing plan and see if we can enhance it, make it that much more beneficial for the business owner. Now, if you, once again, if you're interested in learning a little bit about qualified plans or defined benefit plans specifically, please contact us by looking at our website, www.vastsolutionsgroup.com. We'd be happy to help.